G'day, Toady here. I've recently noticed that my YouTube channel just peaked at 206 subscribers, so that we've actually hit the 2-century mark with subscribers, which is brutally honestly, I am beyond floored with that. That's amazing. That's fantastic, especially considering I never started this channel to garner interest in anything I was doing or anything. I started this channel essentially just as a dumping ground for video to show off to my friends and whatnot, show them what I'm doing, that sort of thing. So to have 200 actively watching what I'm doing, that's fantastic. It tells me a lot of things. It tells me I'm doing something that clearly people care for. So I'll try and keep this short. I don't know how long this is going to go. It might be a bit long. But if it is, I apologize. But I just want to sincerely, upfront, thank every single one of you who is a subscriber. I just want to thank you, and please do stick around, because 2014 is a good year, I think. It's actually a bit of a confluence of lots of things. This will be about my 10th year doing modding, really, of any a serious variety. I've been doing modding for 10 years, and to top it off, this is it's the day before my birthday, so yeah, it's a great confluence of things that's just happening in August here. So we'll go over a few things today, not just armor stuff. And I know that's where a lot of my subscriber base comes from, but I just wanted to talk about other things as well. So one of the things I've got involved with recently, if you can call November last year recent, is I've been doing a bit of on the side animation work for a source mod, which is getting a full Steam treatment, and I've got to say I'm really pleased with the work I've been doing for it. I've been doing a whole lot of animation, and amongst other things I've done those gloves and that hand. Those are all mine as well. Really pleased with how they turned out as well. Animation you can see right now is one of the weapons that they did. That is getting the full work over, and as you can see, I'm really pleased with how that revolver reload worked out. It's possibly the best fast speed load that I've ever seen done. It's missing extraction calls, but only a nerd like me would notice something like that. And as you can see, yeah. And there, the hands and the gloves, they're mine, and as part of the requirements for the mod, the whole hand rig is sort of semi-modular like that, and I get to do fun things like having the weapon brought up, like this, because if you walk too close to a wall, the weapon, goes up, so you can't shoot the wall. It's a nice touch. I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and to be honest, my first playthrough of the mod version of the mod, I was really blown away with how well rounded and thought out and executed it is. So I won't tell you the name of it, but you'll know it when you see it. That's all I'll say for the moment. So while I'm here, and I don't want to waffle on too much about it, but there are people who are interested in what's going on with For Hire. I know I haven't talked about it, I haven't shown much off. Partially that's because it's on hiatus, because basically the only thing that's really left on it is programming, and I'm gonna be brutal honest, I'm no programmer, and at the moment I am the only person programming for it. So I am at the moment infinitely frustrated with Source. I find the engine itself a chore to work with, especially in comparison coming back from working with Armor or Unity or Crytek. So I just thought I'd show off in the background here some of the animation work that I've done for Fire, and some of the neat features. But I want to let you know that it's not dead. It is coming, and regardless of when it's done, or even if it's doesn't come out on Source, which I'm very realistically considering. I wanted to let you know that I'm still committed to that fuzz. So I'll just showing off a couple of neat features here. This Arctic Warfare Covert, and showing off the whole chambering system in this. So in For Hire, you have to manually chamber after each round. So you press the fire button to fire once, and then you press the fire button again to rechamber. And one of the neat things about that is it allows you to work much more like an actual sort of sniper when you got a sniper rifle, where you watch your shot before you rechamber, that sort of thing. It's a nice feature, and especially when you consider the recoil doesn't automatically recenter, it actually deviates and things. It's one of those nice features, and it lets you do cool things like demonstrated in the video there. If you don't rechamber before coming to a dry reload, you have to manually rechamber afterwards. So you have to sort of be aware of your weapon's function at all times. This is a AR-180. Well, that was another one of these cool things that I'm pretty proud of is the way the SKS functions. So semi-automatic, pretty accurate, decent amount of recoil, and you hit an empty reload like that. Put in a stripper clip, gives you your 10 rounds straight up like that. It's pretty quick, so you can mag dump pretty happily with this. And I forgot to do the reload. So yeah, I just thought I'd show some of this off. But if you don't do a full reload, you actually have to charge the weapon and put in the rounds manually. So that's one of the things. That's one of the nice little features. But yeah, I'm looking at possibly bringing this across to maybe another engine. Something that takes much less time and effort to even get the basic functionalities up, because that's one of the problems I find with Source, is that most of the functionality, while it is there, it requires a lot of finessing around, like the kind of C++ backend kind of finessing that I just don't have. I'm not a programmer. And I find it infinitely frustrating that the engine doesn't allow you to get at all its good features, you know, not necessarily from a UI, but you know, from a scripting language or something. It doesn't. It's not very open. It's not very friendly. It's a terrible engine, and in 2014, it's just, if you're working with it, the only reason I could say why you're working with Source these days is if you already started working on there. And you know, asset-wise aside, I mean, For Hire has like 100% of its visual, audio, and content assets. The AV side of it, it's complete. It doesn't look like it there, obviously, because there's a missing texture on the compile, but it's all done. Like maps, sound, everything done. But okay, wow, 10 minutes already. Jeez. Okay, this is gonna be one of those videos. So yeah, in other more frustrating news, about a year and a half ago, maybe a bit more. I actually haven't checked. Probably more than a year and a half ago. Just how time works. I did some Stalker animation, and I have been ever since pretty silent on it. And the reason for that is, if Source was bad, Stalker's engine is worse by a large magnitude. Like the engines, the whole pipeline, everything about the X-Ray engine is an absolute exercise in frustration. Like everything, getting anything into that engine is a miracle as far as I'm concerned. And especially if you don't speak Russian or can't read Cyrillics, it's it may as well be non-functional programming for the most part. It's terribly documented. It's terribly documented and it's terribly executed. So I have thrown the towel in on that. So yeah, that's a thing that I've given up on. In more positive news, the Arma 3 look. In my last changelog, I put up the question of whether I should start work on the next, what pack I should work on next, and the choice was between the MP5, a set of MP5s, or a British Commonwealth thing. And by a pretty overwhelming majority, the MP5s won that vote, I think. Both in the YouTube comments down here and on the Bohemia forums, it was pretty almost unanimous how much people wanted MP5s. So that is what it will be coming out next. That's not to say, however, that I'm not working on the Commonwealth stuff as well. I am. I've in fact started working on a brand gun myself. I'm hand modeling it from scratch. I just finished the barrel earlier this week. Just the barrel. Yeah. For a weapon that saw so much use, there is surprisingly few there's surprisingly little reference material, little good resolution reference material, more specifically. Anyways, so what I thought I'd do is on the end, tap on the end here. I would just show off some stuff that I'd had either hidden or I hadn't shown off. Some of it's for hire work that I put in. Some of it's Stalker stuff. Some of it's just miscellaneous stuff that I've worked on throughout the last couple of years, specifically. So yeah. Again, thank you, every single one of you subscribed, every single one of you who has watched my videos, every single one of you who've put it on places like Face Punch. Yeah, I gotta give the Face Punch Armor guys a bit of a shout out. You guys put the fun back in Armor. I always find going through your Face Punch thread a hoot. I would love to shoot some dudes with you guys at some point, time and shit permitting. Maybe I can hook that up or something. I want to give Foxhound from Armaholic a shout out as well. He is a pretty alright bloke also. This is going to be a list of people who are pretty alright blokes. Actually, I want to give one out just to people who play Arma 3 in general, or interact in the Arma 3 community. I've come from the Half-Life community and Source and all these other. I've done other engines and games and things, but I'm going to be brutally honest. You guys are about the nicest and patientest, and largely the most helpful sort of creative community that I've been a part of, and you know, to step into that from nothing and to be a relative newcomer and get what I consider a really warm reception as I have, I am really truly grateful for, you know, your hospitality and your patronage, and yeah, you guys make it happen for me. Seeing, you know, all the positive comments, and it makes me want to keep doing it, and you know, that makes me happy. So yeah, thank you everyone. Expect more things in the future, more videos, more explosions, more shooting things, probably another Top Gun or two. Yeah, this is Toady saying, and many more.
heavy, still heavy in this gap. Can you feel me? Blame it on my mama, I'm a thug nigga. Before the sun rise, quicker than the drug dealers. Tell me if it's on. Nigga, then we first the bomb bust on these bitch made niggas. Hit 'em up, west side. Ain't nobody love me as a broke nigga. Finger on the trigger, Lord forgive me if I smoke niggas. I let my female strap, the fucker from the back. I get my currency stacks. California's where I'm at. Riding, pass by while these niggas wonder why I got shot but didn't die. Let them see who's next to try. Did I cry? Hell nah, nigga, tears shed. For all my homies in the pen, many peers dead. Bring your crew, but we remain true, motherfucker still ball. Till the day I die, you can bring your crew, but we remain true, motherfucker still ball. Till the day I die, you can bring your crew, but we remain true, motherfucker still ball. Till the day I die, you can bring your crew, but we remain true, motherfucker still ball. カテゴリー別にいろんな思考が溢れてる。さっぱり感じ合う基本それぞれ別。例えば欲しくれば普段着じゃないってよくわかるけど、メイドとローリーがどう違うのよ。大きくなって着る姫様みたいなワンピースをリボン。大きくなって心はまだ夢に溺れたい光と闇。Hit it, let the dog out the cage. I'm pumped up with the gauge. I done did it all. Everywhere I go, I ball. Precise, keep my game tight. Go for show, I fall. I'm the invincible. When sister top principles loot like the heat to the mark. Who got the heart to shoot? I get stitches. Play the game of BB bridges. When I was young, dreaming about money, fame, and bitches. I like fat asses, fat money bags and cash and masses. Slowly as time passes, I found nothing but money rules, time and space. And in this world, my thoughts where all the fucking murders take place. And I'm in it to win it. I'm out to get paid. Got all these bitches on my dick from all the money I made. It's a trade I've acquired. Growing up, inspired naturally, I don't give a fuck. I'm murderer for high. Still ballin' till the day I die. You can bring your crew, but we remain true. Motherfucker still ballin' till the day I die. You can bring your crew, but we remain true. Motherfucker still ballin' till the day I die. You can bring your crew, but we remain true. Motherfucker still ballin' till the day I die. You can bring your crew, but we remain true. Motherfucker still.
It's more of a palate appetizer with a gunpowder relish. Made to whet your interest and get you ready to tap. So, without further ado, this is Opera Anime.